Tonight on To The Point, Sacramento's mayor says he's now putting the city fire department in charge of the homeless crisis.
Why? Fire is already most often the first responder.
A local grandmother identified as one of the fire victims on Maui. Friends say that she saved up her money to vacation there. And the lengths people are now going to make ends meet while also saving lives. Good evening. We start with breaking news. A person has died from West Nile virus, marking the first West Nile death in Sacramento County. Public health says that the person was in their 70s. 6 other people are confirmed to have the virus in the county. Other counties have confirmed human cases, and health officials advise getting rid of standing water where mosquitoes can live, and of course, wear mosquito repellent. Good evening. This is To The Point. I'm Alex Bell. And we start tonight with Sacramento's mayor, who is now calling on the fire department to take the lead on the city's homelessness crisis. And the mayor broke the news at the State of the City event today. Becca Hobegger joins us now with more on why the mayor is doing this.
Yeah, you know, Alex, Sacramento Mayor Darrell Steinberg says what he announced today is an all-hands-on-deck approach, and we'll get to those details. But first, I want to show you some security video given to me by a couple who says Sacramento's fire and police departments need to step up their game when it comes to responding to a mental health crisis.
This is security video from LaWanda Lee and Greg Wilson. They own 8 group homes for people transitioning out of homelessness and say this shows Sacramento police and fire responding to their recent call about one resident who was causing damage and trying to hurt herself.
They just took her to the hospital. So they did the evaluation and they figured she was fine. So they released her back.
Not only do they think these first responders could have acted with more urgency, but also on a more systemic level, they say there should be a place for people like this woman to get mental health services that don't include jail or the hospital.
We can help them and have a cleaner and safer city, and that's what we're going to do together.
Sacramento Mayor Darrell Steinberg, in a State of the City address, said better is coming in the form of a new coordinated response to the homeless crisis led by the city fire department.
Why? Fire is already most often the first responder to crises and health-related emergencies.
Steinberg joined the leaders of this coordinated effort, including the police and fire chiefs, the assistant city manager, and service providers in a panel discussion. They hope this new coordinated system can be an alternative to 911, helping people who are having a mental health crisis get connected to mental and behavioral health services and substance abuse treatment and get off the streets.
The announcement happened here at 6780 Stockton Boulevard in Sacramento. If you've driven past, it has likely looked like an abandoned, vacant building for the better part of 2 decades. It is here where WellSpace Health will come in and turn this into a wellness campus.
Plans on this 13-acre site include a crisis receiving center for those experiencing mental health and or substance abuse issues. WellSpace CEO Dr. Jonathan Porteous says he hopes that can open next year.
To focus on recovery, moving people back into the mainstream.
Leaders told the crowd they believe these changes will make a noticeable difference to the public within a year in terms of nuisances and crime linked to homeless encampments, but some attending today's event say they'll believe it when they see it.
That's going to take resources, and that's going to take the political will in terms of wanting it done.
And Becca, this is all coming after, the frustration of the homelessness crisis. It's really hitting a boiling point for people.
Yeah, Alex, as we've been reporting here on To The Point, earlier this month, the Sacramento County District Attorney threatened legal action against the city and its leaders if they don't make meaningful changes in the next 30 days. And just a week before that, city council members voted to give more authority to the city manager to launch more of those safe ground camping sites for the unhoused as quickly as possible. So lots of unhoused news here in Sacramento in the past month.
Yeah, that's right. And the Sacramento District Attorney is thanking people for filling out this questionnaire that asks people if they have been affected by homeless encampments. The DA has received more than 1,600 responses. The DA calls them disturbing and appalling. Some people report that a girls' soccer game was postponed because of hypodermic needles found on the field. A homeowner reports that they were diagnosed with PTSD due to harassment and break-ins by people living in a camp across the street. Others report having children walking them through human feces and urine just to get to school. Meanwhile, a new mobile medicine van is driving around Sacramento County to help the homeless. It's staffed with UC Davis doctors to provide medical and mental health care. The unhoused face multiple barriers when it comes to getting health care.
The goal of this clinic and the importance of it is to decrease those barriers and create a space that is consistent and reliable and ideally feels safe for patients who come to see us.
Unhoused residents have another option for medical care at the Loaves and Fishes Mercy Clinic. Governor Newsom just announced more money for homeless programs across the state. San Joaquin County will receive more than $11 million to help with encampment cleanups and connect people to housing and services. Governor Newsom says that he has committed more than $30 billion to address housing and the homeless crisis since taking office. And the death toll continues to rise in Hawaii. A beloved grandmother from Pollock Pines was identified as one of the victims. Friends say that the 72-year-old Teresa Cook was saving up money to vacation on Maui, and she was excited to visit and travel on the island. Her friends today, though, they were so heartbroken that they could not speak on camera with us. But here's the latest in the search for those missing on Maui. The search for the missing on Maui turning grim.
Every single structure or area that's been damaged by the fire is being and will be searched for human remains so that we can recover our loved ones.
The FBI are now working with people on Maui, pleading with them to give their fingerprint and DNA to help them identify their loved ones. The rapid DNA test being used reportedly processes DNA samples in less than 2 hours.
Ultimately, some of these remains may never be identified.
I think that's safe to say.
The number of fatalities now stands at 115, while as many as 1,100 people remain unaccounted for. The governor now telling our affiliate KITV to prepare for a significant rise in the death toll as search teams have now moved to the next phase, multi-level homes.
We do expect to see a lot more loss of life. It's going to be tragic. I want to brace everyone for that.
They put in the name.
People are volunteering to help find those missing. The Maui Fire's People Locator is a spreadsheet with thousands of names and status updates, along with links to resources and information on how to help. And something similar happened after the campfire in Paradise in 2018. It was too difficult to identify and locate the missing. The Butte County Sheriff's Office ultimately published a list of missing people in the local newspaper, and that helped identify people who made it out alive but were still listed as missing. So within a month, the list dropped from 1,300 names to only a dozen. In other news, supporters gathered along streets in South Lake Tahoe today as President Joe Biden continues his family vacation. This video shows that the president was at a shopping center sipping a smoothie after taking a Pilates class with his family. The Bidens, including son Hunter Biden, are reportedly staying at home at the home of Tom Steyer, who is a climate investor. In the Georgia election interference case, former President Donald Trump is expected to turn himself in tomorrow. Today, a growing number of former President Trump's alleged co-conspirators surrendered. So 2 of Trump's former lawyers, Kenneth Chesebro and Ray Smith, they were booked and released from the Fulton County Jail after posting bail. Like Trump, they both face racketeering and conspiracy-related charges for allegedly trying to unlawfully overturn the 2020 election results in Georgia. Trump's former lawyer, Rudy Giuliani, also turning himself in today.
I am being indicted because I'm a lawyer, as is Professor and everyone else.
Today, a Fulton County judge also setting bond for Trump attorney Sidney Powell at $100,000. The same went for Trump campaign lawyer Jenna Ellis and another Trump lawyer, John Eastman, who turned himself in on Tuesday. Right now, 8 candidates, Republican presidential hopefuls, are holding their first Republican debate. The frontrunner, former President Donald Trump, is not there. A pre-taped interview with conservative host Tucker Carlson and Trump is airing at the same time as the debate. Coming up onto The Point, could a new city be coming to our region? And why is Congress investigating?
We're tracking warming conditions throughout the region. 89 degrees today for San Francisco, 101 for Fairfield. How long this heat sticks around.
And plasma donations are on the rise as many people are just trying to make ends meet, but they're also helping save lives.
It has proteins inside of that plasma that makes our life-saving medication for immunodeficiencies.
How you can sign up to make hundreds of dollars a month. All right, let's check out your weather. Monica, it's going to be hot.
Yeah, it is for the next couple of days.
Guys.
You know, today was one of those days that we reached highs close to 100. Expect a near repeat for tomorrow. Not a whole lot moving throughout the west here, except for the remnants of what was Tropical Storm Harold now bringing some showers to the Intermountain West, but locally for California, we are dry for the moment. We are looking at an elevated fire risk, though, right along the northwest coast. That will be in play tomorrow through Friday with a red flag warning and the possibility of abundant lightning. As far as our temperature trend, this is all happening in the background of that higher fire danger warming trend underway. 82 was our high on Monday with the clouds just kind of dampening some of the sunshine coming through, that coming in from the remnants of Hillary, and then the sunshine returning doesn't take long to get us back into the 90s. Right now, we're in the 90s to near 100 throughout the valley, still at 83 for San Francisco, 80s for the foothills, and right about 70 up top for the Sierra. Beautiful night as we head into the evening. Sunset is at 7:49, so we'll see those temperatures dropping into the 80s. Our forecast low, 70 degrees. Sunrise tomorrow at 6:27. There's that big ridge of high pressure. It's really going to keep everything out in the Pacific, but just enough instability coming in from the low that is going to elevate that fire danger along the northwest coast. Highs for tomorrow in the 80s and 90s for the foothills, 70s for the Sierra. Along the coast, just a little bit cooler for tomorrow. Not much of an onshore flow, though, so highs in the 70s and 80s, 90s to near 100 for inland areas. Our 10-day forecast, which includes the start of the holiday weekend next weekend, kind of up and down, but all in all, we're going to be in the low to mid 90s to right around the upper 90s for the next 10 days.
Plasma donations are on the rise as people try to make ends meet. They're also helping save lives. Breaking news, Paul Flores, the man accused of killing Stockton's Kristen Smart, is hospitalized. His lawyer says that he was attacked in the state prison. Smart disappeared from Cal Poly more than 25 years ago. Her body has still not been found. Flores was sentenced to 25 years to life back in March. And could we be getting a new city in our region? Some Solano County residents are questioning it after a survey was sent out about creating a new city close to the Travis Air Force Base. And it is the same area seen on this map that's an issue of national security. A company has been buying this land for years, and they now own tens of thousands of acres surrounding the military base. As Devin Truby explains, the government doesn't know who they are and what they want.
It's the biggest mystery in decades to come out of Solano County. Over the last 5 years, a company named Flannery & Associates has purchased more than 52,000 acres around the Travis Air Force Base, the busiest Air Force base in the country.
C-5As and C-17s are loading munitions for destination in Poland and then on to Ukraine for the war. It's absolutely critical.
But what this company is and why they're buying the land is still a question.
We have no idea where the $900 million has come from to buy land at several times its nominal value.
The LLC is out of Delaware, where they're not required to reveal business partners. But Congressman John Garmendi, a member of the House Armed Services Committee, has a theory.
We have a suspicion that it may very well be Chinese money. That money may or may not be tied to the Chinese People's Liberation Army.
Solano County Administrator Bill Emlin says it's highly unusual to receive no communication from a buyer that big, but county residents have begun receiving communication from Flannery & Associates in the form of a survey. Screenshots of a survey show a market research campaign about an initiative that might be on the ballot in Solano County next year. According to the survey, Flannery & Associates is asking residents to weigh in on forming a new city in Solano County, one with, quote, tens of thousands of new homes, a large solar farm, orchards with over 1 million trees, and over 10,000 acres of new parks and open space.
They're promising pie in the sky to the people of Solano County and may soon try to put some sort of an initiative on the ballot to secure their own idea of appropriate zoning and land use in this area.
The survey shares the project would provide down payment assistance to county residents and would be funded entirely by private sector money.
Major challenges to doing that, particularly in the area that we're talking about, because of a lack of infrastructure out there. It would be a major undertaking.
Now, the county says they have only had contact with Flannery and Associates through the assessor's office and a few emails from the law firm representing them. We reached out to that law firm and we are waiting to hear back. We might have just hit the highest gas prices of the year. According to AAA, the average price of a gallon of a regular unleaded in California yesterday was $5.26. That's up 10 cents from the weekend and 37 cents from the past month, but it's still less than a year ago. So gas prices typically hit their peak around Labor Day. And the push is on to get California workers more paid sick leave. Senate Bill 616, if passed, would raise the annual minimum guaranteed paid sick leaves from 3 to 7. And this would apply to all workers in the state. Health advocates say that 3 days a year is just not enough. They say the pandemic made it clear how important it is for them to have more sick days. They are concerned about losing their jobs or not being able to pay other expenses when they run out. And they say that the fewer sick days could also force parents to send their child to school while they're sick.
When kids get sick, working poor families too often face terrible choices. They either send their children to school so they can keep earning their whole paycheck, or they lose a chunk of money they desperately need to keep a roof over their children's heads and food on the table.
Legislators have 3 weeks left to act. And it seems like everything is more expensive these days. I mean, you have food, gas, housing, you name it. The cost of living has many people looking for more ways to make money. And some people are willing to get pricked with a needle for a little bit of extra cash. Our Jeannie Nguyen explains.
It seems like for many,
So I just wanted to find another way to make money.
everything has gotten more expensive.
I took my kids yesterday school shopping to get the bare minimum, a few outfits. They didn't even get new shoes or anything, and I spent $400.
For Dana Howe, she needed more money fast. Her solution? Become a plasma donor.
I'd say I make about $800 a month donating. And it's a really nice little chunk of change, but I know that I can count on at least that $500 every month.
Howe is able to donate twice a week at BioLife Plasma Services in Roseville, and she gets paid for every donation.
This center has fluctuated, I think, like 3 different times, ranging from $130 to $160 a week.
She's talking about BioLife, a plasma collection company with facilities all over the United States. At the Roseville location, Nate Lloyd says he has seen a spike in donations over the last 6 months.
I think everything's just more expensive. And that's one of the beautiful things about plasma donation and BioLife specifically is donors donate their plasma, but we can reimburse them for their time.
And unlike donating blood, it can take several hours to donate plasma.
We are focused on the plasma piece of it the most. Your blood's made up of the 4 components. You got your white blood cells, your red blood cells, your platelets, and your plasma. We just want that one component. We want your plasma that has proteins inside of that plasma that makes our life-saving medication for immunodeficiencies.
The donated plasma is then used to treat and help 40,000 people throughout the country.
These aren't just your everyday illnesses. These are chronic illnesses. These are illnesses that there's no cure to.
And as the cost of living continues to rise, Howe says this is something that will not only benefit her and her family, but save thousands of lives.
The financial side of it is great, and also really rewarding knowing that you're helping people.
And a BioLife representative says that each year, each center will pay donors anywhere from $3 to $5 million, with 80% of that money being spent back into the local community. For more information on how to donate, you can head to our website, abc10.com. Next, on To the Point, the start of a new college year. It's move-in day, first-year transfer and new graduate students moved into Sacramento State housing today. Staff and other students, along with the Hornet Drumline, line the entrance to welcome people to campus.
Move-in day is pretty special. I just got here, and honestly, it's exciting. But I've already done some moving myself. I already had some roommates before, so this is a new experience for me in a school campus.
Returning students are scheduled to check in on Friday. And we always like to end the show with what we're working on. So tomorrow I head out to South Sacramento's Mack Road. It's an area that has its issues with crimes, but several people are invested in making it a place where people want to live, work, and shop. And one of the key investments starts with the kids. So I'll take you inside the only community center around for miles, a place where kids can get help with their homework, learn a new hobby, or are just simply looking for a meal.
The biggest need for our kids, along with food, of course, they want to be seen, they want to be heard, they want to feel important.
This Thursday, we introduce you to families and business owners who say that Mack Road is a place of hope and opportunity. As always, we want to hear from you. Let me know what's going on in your community. You can always send me an email at tothepoint@abc10.com. Have a great night. I'll see you tomorrow. Hey, it's Alex. Just wanted to say thank you so much for watching. I really love hearing from everyone, and I hope that you'll stay in touch. Reach out to me on Facebook at AlexBellTV, or you can email me at tothepoint@abc10.com, or you can even send me a text message at 916-321-3310.